Tribe. Okay, so we're back. The video cut off. I mean, it was the perfect time for the video to cut off, though, Tribe. It really was. I mean, so circling back to what we picked up, it really did. Okay. All right, cool. All right. Let's get that crown chakra protected. Start it over. So it did appear that the video cut off at the perfect time, right? Where essentially a representation of these energies that were being projected at you. You know, why are you happy? You know, what the fuck are you smiling for? Type energy, right? You kind of shut it down. Literally, there's no more space for it. Figuratively and literally, right? Yeah. And in this reconstruction, similarly to the video continuing, the channeled message continuing, I picked up a few things in that pause, in that lull that we discussed, right? Where, cool. Okay. So in that lull, in that pause, I picked up a few other things, right? Pertaining to mind control, perception control, okay? Perception and perspective control as well, where the energies that were even possibly unbeknownst to themselves. Let's talk in terms of possession, focus, all right? Attachments, goals, right? And when I say goals and attachments, so we can look at from within specific spiritual circles, we can say possession or energies and entities shift in between individuals' flesh, right? So you may recognize the same entity or energy within a person, an individual, a state of mind, a place, a location, right? A workspace, an environment. All right. I'm picking up for Halloween, I'm being myself, right? So that may be significant for someone. We're using the Psychic Tarot, but we're going to shift gears. So picking up shifting gears, okay, shifting focus, shifting perception, okay, and I digress, right? For part one, okay, portion one, okay, so many channeled messages. Okay, so portion one was you collectively, us collectively, globally, internationally, interdimensionally, okay, quantum physically, okay, being able to adjust through the chaos and noise of the binding and the attachments that were attempting to be placed on us, right? And in the pause into part two, where the expression of those energies that want you to be upset, bitter, angry, all of these heavier and dense emotions, right? Or thoughts of thinking, patterns of being that are stuck in this space, unable to elevate or release themselves, okay, from the price of being perceived or from the price of perceiving others, okay, so entrapped in cyclical natures without the space to breathe, okay, attempting to siphon energy, okay, from you, from your experiences, all right, and reflect back to you in a negative context. Okay, we've separated from this, and now that that separation has taken place, right, you've gained control of your perception, you've gained control of your perspective, you've gained autonomy, you've gained balance from the authentic energy and source, which is you. Okay. All right, shifting gears. So something about shifting gears. All right, well, the Psychic Tarot does have another message for us. The numbers 10, 10, 10 may be significant, twin flame numbers, completion. Okay, number 4 and number 1 may also be significant. So stabilizing your new beginnings, okay, into, and that new beginning leading with often, something often, okay, leading with often found possibilities as well as alignment, okay? Right. So you're using your intuition, All right. You used your intuition to escape, or rather overpower, devour, destroy, destruct, reconstitute. Okay. Suffering in silence, right? Redefining suffering in silence, giving silence the space to experience you, right? Giving silence the space to balance you, being balanced within, okay? Finding balance in the chaos, as above, so below, right? Getting over this waiting game, all right? And these themes, that flow of thought through the cards was very present in a previous reading. So click below. If you're not watching this on YouTube, check out the YouTube for these channeled messages in context of the human existence as a species, as reality. All right, it takes many twists and turns, but you've gotten to this you found a firm foundation within yourself, okay? Okay, so you may have received something, gotten something, right? You've gotten the bigger picture, right? Part 1, part 2, part 3. You're understanding that you're a part of the film, the movie, the organization. You're part of... You're now a part of causing mental conflict for energies that have attempted to siphon from you, right? You were a part of your own mental conflict. You were a part of the layers, okay? That unboxing, all right? You've achieved awareness, right? You've achieved awareness that things were out of alignment, okay? Being fed to you as alignment that were really, truly not. And you've achieved awareness over this mental conflict. Right? Oh, okay, I see what the problem is, fixing it. Oh, okay, I see where I can improve or be better and or just love myself completely, right? Nothing to prove, nothing to explain, simply to exist, be, enjoy, and thrive, right? So however you see that in whatever context it is for you, whatever, if you're chasing something external to you, if you're attracting something external to you, if, right, new beginnings were being delayed, right? You had to pause and really reflect to understand that the pause, the infinite, the zero, is a new beginning of itself, okay? Excuse me again, spiritual burp. So that release, yeah, releasing this need to have a new beginning and allowing yourself to step into it divinely, right? If you look, there are these stairs stepping into the planet, right? Of this earth school, this Airbnb of the soul, right? This cosmic Airbnb. You've chosen wisely, all right? You've chosen wisely, not acting out of a insecure or unstable base chakra space, okay? Base chakra being here. Not acting out of a limited, not acting out of a survival instinct, not acting out of a fear-based energy, right? Acting out of thriving, acting out of wisdom with choice, wisdom with your capacity and space to choose, okay? With the number 7 being here. All right, so something very significant, okay? So picking up, okay, if you look at the numbers, 101, okay, similar to the classifications of education within college systems here in America, and maybe 101, right? English 101, ENC 101, right? So really understanding the 101s, okay, the basics of your human existence, okay, at this new layer of being and conscious awareness, okay? Yeah, patience reverse. You're not being patient anymore. You've had the patience, right? You've been patient. You are now able to use your throat chakra, use your voice, speak life into being, right? Create, right? Communicate, connect intelligently with others and yourself, okay? Yeah, third eye chakra reverse, a complete understanding, ascending from the third eye chakra into the crown chakra, okay? Extending into the crown chakra as we see the number 9 here. This is what it's translating to, okay? Third eye chakra, usually being 6, balance, right? Having a balance between the physical realm, the beast inside of you, the human nature part of you, and then also the divinity within you, okay? And all of it being sacred, okay? Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're speaking something creative. You're speaking something into harmony, right? With this 9. Okay. And if we turn it over, your throat chakra is bringing harmony, 66666 balance. Okay. Also possibly depending on what spiritual cycle you're in, the mark of the beast, different layers, different perspectives, right? Everyone's included. No goods or evils, simply being. All is sacred. Okay. And the balance and the harmony of all, right? And specifically harmony of your sacral chakra. Okay. Having the harmony between your divine masculine energies, your divine feminine energies, bringing balance into one, separating the duality and simply existing into the energy field of consciousness, being, of vibration, right? Balance, alignment, number 2, all right? Me referencing these numbers, okay, because this is part 2 of the original, I'll reintroduce myself. If you don't know, my name is Mr. Hall, spiritual teacher, author, founder, healer, lightworker, starseed, interdimensional being, alien, who knows, right? And with the who knows, Hugh, okay, so human. With the who knows, I'm referencing reality catching up to define what I am, because I am, because we are, right? And as we collectively understand the undeniable yet unexplainable, we find space and context and language for more, okay? And this is a part of the global healing, individually, civilization based, societal based, dimensional based, right? Interdimensional based. Anyway, moving forward. So referencing these numbers, okay? Numbers give specific messages. Numbers may give you different signs, symbolisms, vibrations, energies, frequencies, okay? You can look into numerology. You can look into numerical meanings as far as they may relate to you. These can be days, months, weeks, years, patterns, information, a language, a word, okay? Being able to connect those dots beyond deception and envy, okay? Out of there, out of the deception and envy. We transmute this energy now. I'm picking up the frequency, okay, I'm picking up the statement, all venom spoken about me will be turned into wealth, all right? And let's remove the word spoken and just say all venom in relation to me is transformed into wealth, okay? All right. We transmuted that energy, literal example in your face, on your screen. All right. Yeah, you've tapped into wisdom. You've changed. You've tapped into wisdom. You've tapped into specific wisdoms that are giving you space to operate from your heart in a stable place, right? Not being overly emotional, not lashing out, not being reactive to any forms of abuse, right? Which there are many layers, okay? I'm also picking up social media being a form of mind control, okay? And perception control. Many layers there as well. Yeah, getting away from this discontent and boredom energy as it's in the reverse, okay? Getting away from being discontent, being bored, all right? Focusing on the darkness, the heaviness, and any of those projections attempting to keep you trapped there, to suck you back in, all right? To be vampiric to your energy of light. Look at that. I'm seeing the rainbow, so LGBTQ may be significant. Also Archangel Raziel, I believe, or Uriel, one of them, that are associated with these colors. And honestly, picking up also that there is, okay, so 4-4, really being able to have a heart-based foundation. 44, master number, being repeated, okay? So you may be seeing repeated numbers. You may be seeing repeated patterns, okay? Really outside of this channeled message. Look for these numbers. Ask your subconscious to reveal that to you, okay? As we can collectively underlook, and 4-4. So you may be seeing the angel number 444, okay? And it relates to you how you would apply meaning to it, okay? If you give any meaning to it at all. But either way, we are collectively coming to the understanding as well in relation to color that there is no color truly within, let's say, reality or consciousness. There is light, okay, and the light refracts, and our brains pick up that light and turn that light into red, green, or blue. And from there, we have the perception of color, right? So really capturing perception and perspective. Okay, big focus is on this. All right. I'm also picking up patty cake. Someone's name may be Patty. Patty cake's names. So someone having multiple faces, multiple layers, similar to us all being multi-dimensional beings. Okay, the face that we show the world, the face that we hide from ourselves, the face that we hide from others. Right. I believe this is a Chinese proverb, so something about that. You may be somewhere in that globe or that area or that region of the world or existence, okay, or from that culture. I'm also picking up jinn, okay? Jinn and aliens being compared to being the same energy, okay? So with this different names, different faces, okay, and the energy being the energy of frequency and vibration, being able to jump in between different individuals physically in the flesh, through perspective, through language learning, through role modeling. Okay, if we look at psychology, right? Fear being a learned behavior is also something that's coming up. So releasing fear, okay? You've released some form of fear, all right? False evidence appearing real, I'm picking up. Also forcing evidence, action, response, okay? So you've shifted from the need to respond to some type of reactive abuse, to some form of triggering, rage baiting, goading, okay, poking the bear energy. You stopped. Nice, congratulations. Okay, and we'll go ahead and get the higher self. I have a higher self message for you. That's what's calling. Bear with me. That's what's calling. That's what I'm being drawn to. That's what we want to talk about. That's where the space and the energy is flowing. So let's get to it. All right, so at the bottom of the deck, we have the light. Okay, so breaking out of the darkness, being the darkness within the light, being and understanding that the entire card is a representation of you, yourself, and all of the parts of you, all of the layers. You're not only light, you're not only dark, you're a blend of both and more. If you look, there seems to be this interdimensional, intergalactical. Okay, so patience. All right, something's coming to you because this card is on the tip of my fingers, but I haven't seen it yet. So what's coming? Oh, trust. Look at that. You're being guided, okay? Having patience with trust, okay? Blending these two aspects of yourself together, all right? And I believe that this is, okay, the way that this is coming through is it's going to keep you in this place of going with the flow, all right? Not being a dead fish going with the flow. Dead fish may be significant, something poisoning the oceans, something poisoning waters. Be careful of the water that you're drinking. I'm also picking up. Anyway, going with the flow, okay? Not letting the flow take you away, not just drifting and letting life determine where and what and who and why and when and how, but going with, right? Working with the currents, okay? Also picking up, being able to, okay, the imagery that I'm seeing is of flowing silk, and your hand literally being able to select the flowing silk that you would like to choose and select, okay? The currency of frequency, okay, the sound, the space, the base, the foundation that you would like to move from within and in between, okay? Because the imagery that I am seeing is the silk flowing, okay? So flowing wave, okay? A wavelength, okay? Sound, frequency, vibration, a wavelength, right? And in that wavelength, you being able to pick which part of the wavelength you'd like to jump on, okay? And with that, you are also able to realize that these wavelengths are your actual physical hand, right? It's all interconnected, interwoven, right? Connected. All right. So really going with the flow, okay? And getting out of this lack of worthiness mindset with worthiness being reversed, okay? Stepping into worthiness, seeing how, similarly, I'll digress really briefly back to where I just mentioned, this energy, this frequency, this vibration, and being connected to it as you see the physical vessel of this divine feminine energy, irregardless of gender, as there's no gender in tarot oracle, it's all energy, right? But you being a part of this, do you see how the flesh represented in this card is, let's say, melanated or has a race or color or anything like this, right? But also it's a hue of that neon blue, right? That celestial white light as well. A mix of all of it in both. And something about an eye. So you may have had, okay, so you may have been missing pieces of the picture, because we can infer based on the imagery on this card that these antlers, this horn, is going above the photo and then coming back down, and these are the tips of the horn. But we can also see that there seems to be a piece of the puzzle missing, or there was a piece of the puzzle or picture missing, and you have gotten into a space where you're able to create, right? Who's to say that the horn, right, the missing portion up here isn't completely swirled out into different colors and all of these things? You get to create that. So you stepping into this place of creation, right? Really tapping into your strength, okay? Tapping into your strength, your power, being able to allow yourself to unfold, bloom, okay? Blooming onion may be significant. So Australia may be significant. The Aussies may be significant, okay? Ozzy Osbourne may be significant, okay? Yeah, getting out of this space of boundaries within context, getting out of this space of keeping yourself bound, all right? With that binding energy that I picked up, you're separating from binding yourself, being bound to failure, being bound to failure. You're getting out of that. You're getting out of fearing change. You're getting out of this alchemical process of becoming the fire, okay? Allowing yourself to shine, to be seen, allowing your, and this doesn't have to be done in a dramatic way. This can simply be you having a new thought process, you having a new space and changes, okay? And I'll put this in context for society and civilization, right? Where so many individuals are losing their jobs, losing their homes, going through financial stress, unable to even care if the earth is flat or not, because we need to eat, right? And this opportunity is being granted to shift, okay? And we can say in specific perspectives that, yeah, that's being super positive and super optimistic, right? That nagging voice. But the reality is we're here now, right? And being here now and being present, what space do you have to make action forward, right? As a species, we've been very adaptable, okay? So how are we moving forward collectively, right? I was being guided to mention and use that specific example. So that may be confirmation for you if that's something that you may have been being forced into listening to, or has been coming up on your algorithm, coming up within your life, your reality, okay? The algorithm of existence, all right? Yeah, you're being guided to clear your energy, all right? Detach from that, okay, for a second, because when you have the detachment, you're able to find the balance, and you may have an incoming vision, okay? And also, you're being guided to pray, okay? Pray. And what I'm picking up in praying is creating your vision, okay? The moment you utter it out of your mouth, it's creating the vision. I'll give an example. Everything works out for me, and I get to enjoy being happy. I get to have pleasure in being. I get to experience pleasure around me and celebrate in it with others, okay? Pray, vision, envision, okay? All right, tribe. Whew. Time is flying by if we're looking at it linearly, or we can say that we're having fun, right? So either way, remember, tribe, I'm so glad to see us growing, so glad that I'm connecting with all of you and other individuals coming from all walks of life, from all different beliefs, from all different understandings of this human experience. It's really nice to see us all finding a place to gather, okay, and rally. All right, tribe, so either way, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, okay? If you're not watching this on YouTube, go ahead and click the link above in the bio. And if you are watching this on YouTube, click the link in the bio. Check out all of my products and services, expressions, because there may be confirmations that are subconsciously trying to get to you that you're just missing out on, all right? Take control back of your perception and perspective within these algorithms, okay? Check out the videos below for other confirmations. You may pick up some insights, glean something. Somebody mentioned in the comments that they take notes during the readings, so that may be helpful for you to come back to and circle back on later. Also, check out the shorts. I've been introducing algorithmic intelligence and a bit of confirmations that have been programmed to subconsciously activate you as well. They may be completely out of context, right? But the point is to connect the dots, all right, and help you exercise that mental muscle, neuroplasticity of your neurons, okay, firing, help you get connected to the way to perceive and have perception, and you'll start seeing so many more things connect even outside of this channel, okay, all part of being a guide, okay, as we are guides to each other in the bigger scheme of things. All right, tribe. All right, that's it for now. See you next time. Abracadabra, okay? So mote it be, so it is, okay? Anak amun, and we'll talk to you later.